This is Devinder Kaur and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Enlightened Room. In this video, we're going to study about the Dalton's atomic theory. So first of all, you must be wondering about who is this Dalton and why did he put on his theory. Okay, so Dalton was a teacher in England and then he became a scientist. So in 1808, he put up his atomic theory, this whole atomic theory in 1808, and which was based on the nature of matter, about the divisibility of matter, and this theory has given us so much many another discoveries and then another inventions which has made our world so easy now. Okay, so as you can see, in 1808 and in 2020 the life has been so much changed because of these kinds of theories. So let's start with our first postulate of the theory. In the first postulate, Dalton has stated that all matter, whether an element, whether a compound, whether a mixture it is all made up of extremely small particles called atoms. Well, first of all, we all know that everything in our space that has occupied a space or that has mass is matter, and in that matter comes the atom, the smallest particle, right? Well, smallest up to now. After this video we will get to know that there are another small particles, okay, which are even smaller than atoms. Okay, so I was talking about the matter, as we have said that all the matter, but even we human beings are matter because we have mass, we have occupied our spaces. Okay, everything in our world which can be seen and cannot be seen is matter. Everything in our earth, in our solar system, in our universe is matter. Well, when you get to know about matter and when you study more and more, you will get to know about the antimatter, about the dark matter. Okay, first of all, you should be known to matter, and in that matter, every element means a pure substance that has been extracted from the depths of earth. For example, iron, copper, gold, silver, nickel, every element, each and every element. Then a compound means when two or more the elements combine to form another new substance, and that is a compound. Or a mixture, well, we take mixture in the liquid form. Okay, usually we take compound in solid form, in which two or more kinds of atoms of different elements combine, and we take mixture as salt and water, sugar and water. These things we name it as mixture, okay, or the aqueous solution too. So these all things are made up of small particles called atoms. That means if you are taking water, then this whole thing, water, a glass of water is made of atoms. This bracelet I am wearing, it is made of matter. This ring I am wearing, these two rings I am wearing is made of matter. This marker is made of matter. That means this whole things are made of atoms. This duster is made of atoms. This board is made of atoms. Okay, so everything is made of atoms. Then the second postulate says that the atoms of same element are identical in all respect. Alright, we had written some elements here: iron, copper, gold, silver, nickel, right? Now these five elements, there are five types of elements here, and the atoms of the same element are identical. That means all the atoms of iron, of all the iron in this whole world, okay, are same in all respects. That means they would have same mass, they would have same size, they would have same shape, same physical properties, same chemical properties. Okay, well, copper would atoms of copper element would have same properties, physical or chemical. Okay, then in the third postulate they say atoms of different elements have different sizes and masses and also possess different properties? Well, this one is simple. You can take the example of your siblings. You have your brother, you have your sister, okay? You two would be different in various aspects. Your facial features may be different, your height may vary, you would be taller or smaller as compared to your sibling, right? Similarly, in case of elements, their atom of iron would be different as compared to the atom of copper. Why? They have different sizes, they have different masses, they possess different kinds of chemical properties. Like iron would go for rusting very easily in exposure of air, in exposure of moisture, okay, in exposure of water. But gold and silver would not do that easily. Why? Because they have their own different properties, okay. And there are some elements that oxidize very easily, that react too easily. Some elements react with water, some does not, because they are different in their properties. So if the elements are different in their properties, all the elements are made of atoms, so the properties of atoms would also vary, right? Then comes the fourth point. In the fourth point, they say atoms of the same or different elements combine together to form molecules or compounds. Now this one is pretty easy. How? Atoms of the same, let's take the same element. If we take the same element, let us say hydrogen. How did it come as H2? Well, two atoms of hydrogen combine to form H2. Similarly, two atoms of oxygen combine to form O2. Three atoms of oxygen combine to form O3, right? And then comes the different atoms of the different elements. Well, we can take the example of water. Atoms of hydrogen and oxygen combine to form a compound. But atoms of the same elements combine to form molecules. Okay. Then comes the fifth point, in which they have said, Dalton have said, when atoms of different elements combine together to form compounds, they do so in the simple whole number ratio, like 2:1, 1:1, 3:2, 4:6, 3:8, any kind of ratio, but that should be a whole number. Well, if you want to know what is whole number, then you should go for the mathematics, okay. So in this, they have said atoms of different elements combine together to form compounds in a simple whole number ratio. We have taken the compound as H2O, okay. In H2O, you can see there are two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. Well, the fixed ratio of water is actually 1:8, but as we are just taking the introduction for this, because we will study about it in the law of constant proportions in the next video, we are taking as 2:1 for the introduction, okay. So for the learning, okay, for better understanding. Now comes the sixth point. In the sixth point, they have said atoms of two different elements may combine in different ratios to form more than one compound. Now this one is quite tricky. You would say this would be similar to the fifth one, but this one is quite tricky. How? Atoms of two different elements may combine in different ratios. In different ratios, they mean, let us take an example of carbon and oxygen as carbon monoxide, in which they have combined in the ratio 1:1. But if you increase the quantity of oxygen molecules, or you would make some better conditions for it, you would get CO2. There is an atom of carbon, there is atom of oxygen, and they have the ratio of 1:2 here, according to the formula, right? So you see, atoms of two different elements combined in different ratios to form in one compound. This is carbon monoxide, this is carbon dioxide. We exhale carbon dioxide. But if carbon monoxide goes into our body, it would suffocate. It would be suffocating for us, and it may even cause death. See, just with a change in number of oxygen molecule, how the properties of the whole compound change. Okay. Now comes the seventh point. In the seventh point, there is the number and kind of atoms in a given compound is always fixed. Well, yes, it is. The 3 points, the points, not the 3 one, the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th point gives the explanation of law of constant proportion. We will study about it in the next video. But I have told you, you may be asked how Dalton explained about the law of constant proportion in his theory. Well, these 4 points tell us about the law of constant proportion, and he has explained that law in these 4 points. Okay, and it has been explained very well. Then comes the 8th point. In the 8th point, they have said atom is the smallest particle and that takes part in a chemical reaction. Well, yes, it is. In a chemical reaction, you see, we usually have reactants, 2 or more reactants. Well, it could be even 1 in some special type of chemical reactions. Then, which will take part in a chemical reaction in the presence of sunlight, some catalyst, some enzyme, etc., and will give us product. This is a chemical reaction. But who takes part in this chemical reaction? Atoms. Like I said, you can get water. When atoms of hydrogen and oxygen combine, we get water. But who combined? Atoms. Atoms of different elements combine to form one or more products or compounds, and this explains our 8th point. That means atom is the smallest particle that takes part in a chemical reaction. Then comes the last point, and the last point is an atom can neither be created nor be destroyed. That means atom is conserved, atom is indestructible. This explains the conservation of atom, or you can say the conservation of mass of atom. Okay, so this is all about the Dalton's atomic theory. I hope I was able to explain it more easily or more, you can say, efficiently. Hope you liked my video. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much.